No trip to Dublin is complete without a stop at the Lincoln's Inn for some delicious king prawns, salmon, a bit of whiskey. You must try a full Irish breakfast. The Brazen Head, Dublin's oldest pub. We chose Wren Urban Nest because of its price, along with proximity to St. Stephen's Green and Trinity College. It's built into a repurposed warehouse and boasts zero carbon footprint. A very nice restaurant and bar area with a delicious breakfast in the morning. The trip was a cinematic tour of Ireland on some level. Our first stop was Cong, where many scenes for the film The Quiet Man, starring John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara, was filmed. Danaher's restaurant served us the best Guinness beef stew I've ever had in my life. Walking the streets of Cong was a revelation. You'll see many places from the film, such as the Dying Man House. The River Cong is an amazing fishery, and there's also a salmon hatchery. There are an abundance of hiking trails through the Cong Wood, where you can stroll along the river. The beauty and serenity of the River Cong are something that's hard to describe unless you've been there yourself. Continuing with our cinematic theme, we stopped in Leenaun in Connemara, where the film The Field, starring Richard Harris, was made. Regrettably, the Field bar was closed the day we visited, so we didn't get to see the portrait of Bull McCabe. The countryside in and around Leenaun is breathtaking. Unexpectedly, I found myself standing at the municipal water spigot with an Irishman who was filling jugs because his spring had dried up. We spoke of the film The Field, and I made a comment about the land, and he said, "Oh, in Ireland it's all about the land." If you go to Ireland, you must visit Connemara. The landscapes are so inspirational. Clifden sits at the edge of a tidal bay of the Atlantic Ocean. It's a beautiful small town that you can easily walk. It has a vibrant nightlife and many wonderful restaurants. The seafood here is some of the best you'll find in all of Ireland. The next part of our journey took us along the Wild Atlantic Way, which covers the west coast of Ireland all the way down to Dingle. I knew nothing of the Wild Atlantic Way before we went on the trip. It runs down the west coast all the way from County Donegal to County Cork. The bays and coves that you will see on this road are spectacular and inspirational. I'm a bit of an oyster aficionado, and I've always heard how great the oysters of Galway Bay are, so we had to stop and try them. O'Grady's on the pier did not disappoint, and the fish and chips was also excellent. The Doolin ferry is a great way to see the Cliffs of Mohr. I had no idea how severe my travel partner's fear of heights was, so walking along the cliffs was out of the question. Make sure you buy your tickets in advance because they do sell out. We saw lots of puffins and other seabirds on the trip, and also some really large, kind of eerie looking squid at the surface. Abbeyfield's a place that just happened to be on our car route. We stopped here for dinner at Leenaun's. Very delicious. The next stop on our cinematic journey was Inch Beach in Dingle, where many of the famous scenes for Ryan's Daughter were filmed. One of my favorite movies of all time. We stayed at the Inch Beach Bed and Breakfast, a wonderful place with comfortable rooms and an amazing breakfast room. Irish oysters are some of the best in the world, by the way. Inch Beach is long and wide, and I can imagine if conditions are right, you could do some pretty good surfing there. During our stay, we visited the picturesque seaside port of Dingle. We stopped in at Murphy's Pub for a pint and some lunch. One day we drove to the tip of the peninsula at Dunmore Head and stopped at some Stone Age beehive huts on the way. Very dramatic scenery. Driving was a bit treacherous. The roads are very narrow. On the way back, we hiked Connor Pass, which has some of the most dramatic, breathtaking scenery you'll find anywhere in the world. That night, we had lobster thermidor at the half door. I wondered if we shouldn't have gone to Doyle's instead. This was a bit of a whirlwind trip. We made a quick stop at Killarney National Park. Very beautiful, but we didn't really have the time we needed to enjoy it properly. Did you know it is said that fairies live at the foot of the foxgloves? Kinsale is considered a culinary capital of Ireland, and I think all in all it was my favorite place. Whatever you do, please don't go rummaging around in Granny's bottom drawer. Max's is an upscale haute cuisine kind of restaurant, highly recommended to us by the owner of the Pier House boutique hotel where we stayed. Black Pig Wine Bar is my favorite place in Kinsale. It didn't hurt that they had portraits of one of my literary heroes, Samuel Beckett, everywhere. The oysters were phenomenal. The charcuterie board was out of this world. For our main meal, we went to number 19 Steakhouse. Our host didn't recommend it, but I noticed it had a very high rating on Google Maps. The beef was incredible. Highly recommended. Nice wine list, too. On a whim, we decided to check out some real estate. This 3-bedroom, 2-bath stucco home was listed at around €375,000. I saved the best for last, folks. The amazing Pier House Boutique Hotel. What a great host. So many different rooms where you can relax. Fantastic. Stay here if you can. Very reasonable, too.